you have to have some sort of ability to communicate the changes of why we're not meeting the expectation and why we have that expectation.
And I believe you should also have grace. There should be some grace in that, because if you're so hardcore about the person meeting your need, now when it comes time for you to meet their need, and you shouldn't expect for them to have any grace for you if you're not willing to have that grace.
Okay, so the second topic that can quietly destroy your remarriage is unmet expectations.
And to me, this is a big one, because a lot of people feel like their expectations were not met. You know, both men and women, they have a list of things that weren't met, that the other person didn't do for them, didn't say, weren't. And so that's a big one when it comes to remarriage. And also, there's a lot of unspoken assumptions.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
Yeah, that's a big thing that adds to unmet expectations.
I think what happens for women is that they expect the man to improve their life.
Yeah, that's
like the knight
one.
in shining armor, even without expressing it.
But see, that's where the unexpected expectation happens. We didn't have our unmet. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We didn't have our conversation. We're supposed to have this conversation about, what do you really want? What are you expecting in this marriage? And what happens if you don't get it? We need to talk about all of that.
Yeah.
What is your expectation? What is your thought that should be? And what happens when that doesn't happen? You know, what do we do?
Right. One way that you can identify if you have unmet expectations is to kind of write down or, review those things in your mind that, hey, am I really expecting this just from being in this marriage, or am I expecting this because I want to cover or solve something that was unresolved in my past relationship?
And I like to add that this is different than a non-negotiable. It's not the same thing. We're talking about an unmet expectation, not something that's a non-negotiable.
What do you mean? Like
a non-negotiable would have been something that you would have talked to your mate about, and they wouldn't have gotten past first base, really, because you wouldn't have married them with your non-negotiable.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about, we got through that.
Yes.
But you are expecting something from them.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't accomplished.
Communicated it.
Well, you may not have communicated, or let's say you did communicate it, but it still was unmet. Sometimes expectations may be unmet, even though they were communicated.
And so, like, for example, if I expect you to take out the trash, or you expect me to cook every day.
Yes. And you don't do that.
But you said that, but you told me, and I agreed to it.
Yes.
And then I didn't do it.
So I did not meet your expectation of taking out the trash every day. You did not meet my expectation of cooking for me every day. So those are unmet expectations.
And that kind of goes into realistic versus unrealistic expectations, Yeah,
it can be, yeah.
Did I put that on you, taking the trash out every day? Was that because my ex didn't do it? Or is that because we really need the trash taken out every day because we run a business and we get a lot of trash, or we have a lot of kids and there's a lot of trash every day? Like, why am I even saying this?
Or it's like we didn't have the conversation of who was going to be the trash taker outer, But
I'm saying we did. Like you said, we had the conversation and it's unmet.
Yeah, it's true.
Isn't that what you're saying?
Yes.
So I'm going on that. Like, we talked. You said you were going to take out the trash.
Okay.
And I have to realize, and you didn't every day. And I'm thinking, am I just saying that because of what I didn't have? Or am I saying that because of what I saw on TV? Like, why am I asking you to take out the trash every day?
Yeah.
Well, is it because we really need it?
Yeah.
In that situation?
Well, you do need people to take the trash out.
But every day.
It could be every other day.
We do have trash cans.
Yeah.
And so if I'm putting that on you and it's making it become an unmet expectation, maybe you can reevaluate why you have that expectation, because you don't want to continue in a marriage with that.
Well, one of the things I was just thinking about when you were talking was, it could also be that the expectation is like you're hyper focused on that particular expectation to such a point that it becomes more than just the expectation. And
What do you mean like that?
What I mean by that is like you say, you were supposed to take out the trash every day. So I don't need to take it out the next day because it's like I took it out the day before and we didn't fill it up. So now I could take it out the third day, right? And so you say to me, you didn't take it out every day like you said you would. Now you're hyper focused on, you have to take that trash out every single day. So sometimes with a woman, she'll say, I'll cook for you, but she may not cook every single day.
Or maybe at a scenario, like let's say you met me when I was in culinary school, right? And I'm cooking every day and I'm not even thinking about it. And I'm agreeing to it. Like, yeah, I'll cook every day.
Because you're in school.
And I'm doing it. Like I do it for school. And so then I graduate and now I'm working and there's like so many demands at work. And now I am cooking the same amount, but I'm cooking at work now because I'm a chef. And when I come home, maybe I don't want to cook. And you're like, I thought you said you would cook every day. And I was like, I am cooking every day, but just not for,
not
you
for
know,
you.
Right. And so
well, that's not what we said.
Exactly.
I said you'll cook for me every day.
And then let's say we have a situation where I'm pregnant or I get sick and I am like physically having a hard time cooking every day. Or I cooked a lot on Sunday and we have food for
the week. You're prepping. So
or something like that. Yeah. You have to have some sort of ability to communicate the changes of why we're not meeting the expectation and why we have that expectation.
And I believe you should also have grace. There should be some grace in there, because if you're so hardcore about the person meeting your need, now when it comes time for you to meet their need, and you shouldn't expect for them to have any grace for you if you're not willing to have that grace.
And you don't want that. You don't want to live
nobody
like
wants
that.
to live like that.
And you don't want to live with so many unmet expectations because it will destroy your love.
It does disappoint you. And then when you have
to
disappointment,
a point where it's like, it's not just like a one-time disappointment. No. It seems to
like an everyday disappointment.
Yeah. Like a lingering one that'll just grow into resentment, bitterness, all of these things. And so it's best to kind of look at what is the expectation I have of this person?
And has it changed?
Because they can't be, we know that we're not perfect. Yeah. We know that the other person is not perfect. So if I'm expecting them to do what, and they're not meeting it, what do I need to do to...
Is it something, I was thinking, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but is it something that you can do yourself in the meantime if they don't meet that, so that you don't get upset? Because sometimes you're like, you know what, I'm just going to take the trash out myself, or I'll cook my dinner, or I'll cook a dinner for us both because I know you didn't do it, but now I'm going to do it right now.
Or I know
today.
that you're sad today.
Yeah.
Or I know that
and that's
you had a busy day.
Yeah, that's where the grace comes in. You have to have compassion.
I think that's more than grace. You said grace, which would be like, you know what, honey, I wasn't able. No, I'm saying grace is, I know you didn't cook today and it's fine. I'm going to eat some leftovers, right? But you took it a step further, which is like the grace and the compassion, and you are now helping the person. Now, instead of being served, you're serving them. It wasn't just grace. Like, that's beautiful. Like, if you can turn an unmet expectation into grace, compassion, and then you're serving the other person. That's hard,
Yeah, I think it'd be better than being in bitterness and anger all day long because they didn't do that. You could say, you know what, they didn't do it. It smells in here because nobody took the trash out, so I'm going to take the trash out now. Or you can call them up. Hey, the trash needs to go out. I'm going to do it. I'll be the lead. I'll take the lead on this. Can you help me with this other, or put another bag in there or something? Do something like you said you would. And I mean, let's say it like that because that causes arguments. Just say,
well, that wouldn't be really operating in grace.
It's not grace. No, I didn't mean to say it like that. What I'm saying is that I'm going to take it out. And can you just put another bag in there for me while I take this trash out? That's basically what
and we're using light examples, but we know that there can be, in physical intimacy, there's expectations of frequency and all of those things. And you have to talk about that when they change. Why did they change?
Actually, you should talk about it before the change. You talk about it
definitely should, but if you're
in the dating stage.
Yeah, but if you're feeling that unmet expectation and it wasn't communicated, then you don't want to get too mad because, let's say I didn't have any physical contact in my marriage, my first marriage.
Oh,
no,
first
in my
marriage.
first marriage.
Okay.
And I am in a drought. Okay. And then I go into the next marriage kind of
Thirsty and
silently.
hungry.
Yeah. And expecting my husband to feel something that he didn't even know needed that much water. I was that thirsty.
Yeah.
And then maybe I get mad at him because he's only watering 3 times a week. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a lot of watering. And I don't tell him.
Yes.
I just get mad. And now I'm frustrated.
But this is why they say that communication is huge in any relationship.
Yeah.
And especially a remarriage. So you have
Yeah,
to
I think
communicate
that. Yeah, I think it's even more because by the time you're ready to remarry and you're in it, you probably have had time to have what do you call it, like preferences that you didn't even know you had in your first marriage.
Oh.
Maybe you have just a way of doing things and the other person didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said communication is key because you have to talk about your desires, your wants, your needs, your unmet expectations, your met expectations, your non-negotiables. That's what I was saying. You have to talk about your non-negotiables. You add all of those into your conversations before you get married. That way, you can also remind someone gently that, hey, when we were talking, when we were dating, you said you would do this for me. And that's one of the things that helped me to say yes to you.
Yeah. And you do want to be cautious that you're not expecting something that you've seen in other marriages.
Yes.
In your marriage.
Like I always say, comparison is not good for relationships.
Like so-and-so's, new husband is doing this and you want your husband to do that, but you never said that. He doesn't know. Yeah. Or she doesn't know.
Yeah.
You really would like her to dress like this.
Yes.
Like, how would she know that?
If you like that, you should tell her while you're dating. That way there's no surprises when you get married.
Yeah, but if you're now remarried and you're feeling this way, you can make a time to do like a weekly check-in. Or I think we had talked about it before, not having a meeting to kind of tell the person what they're not doing or doing, but more of,
I'm letting you know how this relationship's going and where I am in the relationship, how I feel about it.
Yeah, like maybe a status check-in because you're in it now. We're in the remarriage and there are ways to grow past that unmet expectation.
Yeah, you can overcome anything with the communication, with the right tools and the right way of talking to the person. Because I'm sure over time you get to know keywords that set them off or put them on alert or make them not feel good. And so you want to be able to come to the person in a way that grabs their attention in a positive way so that they're able to listen to everything you have to say.
I think having a good environment for communication, by now you guys are remarried, a nice way to present your ideas. If you don't, you want to ask them, hey, honey, how can we communicate some needs that we have? What would be a good setting to do that?
And the great thing is that I don't know, I don't want to talk about it. Those aren't things that you can do if you're married to the spouse because you have to talk about some things.